Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
We miss you.
We do.
But we feel you here. This Shabbat, we begin the book of Vayikra, the book of Leviticus, the third book of Torah. It discusses a lot about contagions in these dark hours. Passages that once seemed so ancient, so outdated, have sudden, strange resonance. The book of Vayikra speaks as well of sacrifices, korbanot. The Hebrew root of the word for sacrifice, korban, is kufresh vet, which in Hebrew, karov, means close. In the ancient rites of the temple in Jerusalem, we made sacrifices, korbanot, in order to draw karov, in order to come close. And in this hour of Erev Shabbat, with the sun sinking low, we draw close to one another as a worldwide community, bound together by our human vulnerability, by our fear, by our hope, by our strength. We offer korbanot, sacrifices, for the greater good. Even in social isolation, we draw close. We come karov. There is a strange intimacy in the air. Even in our virtual community, we are together. So as we go to light candles, kindle the Shabbat lights, and we'll sort of do this gesture of drawing close, really encouraging you to think of those to whom you are connected, drawing them close into your heart, into your virtual space, into the light of Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlitnen של Shabbat.
Shabbat Shalom all. Shabbat Shalom Shai. Were it not for social distancing, we would hug you, Shai.
This is a very challenging mitzvah for Reb Meir. Lechu neranana. We're on page 12. Come, let us sing joyously to God. Lechu neranana. Yai lai 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 lai. Nahariya. Letzoyishenu. Lechu neranana. Lai 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 lai. Nahariya. Letzoyishenu. Nekadma. Vana betoda. Bizmirot. Nahariya lo. Lechu neranana. Yai lai 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 lai. Nahariya. Turning to page 19. Also, as I'm telling you these page numbers, I want to remind you, maybe for next Shabbat, that there's a link in our email so you can actually download the Siddur and look at the PDF. Or we also have a wonderful congregant who would be willing to bring a Siddur which you can wipe down with Clorox wipes and follow along next week. So let us know if you'd like a Siddur. We are now on page 19, the last two lines. Adonai oz le'amo yitain. Adonai oz le'amo yitain. Adonai yivarech et amo. Adonai oz le'amo yitain. Adonai yivarech et amo. Lechadodi, to the tune of Cohen's Hallelujah, page 20. Lechadodi, likrat kala. B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Ishmi'anu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad.
לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה.
Verse 2.
לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה כי היא מקור הברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה.
Verse 5.
התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי, 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 שיר דברי. כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
Paragraph.
Verse 9. Facing your door if that's your custom.
Stand and rise if you want.
בואי בשלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצולה, תוך אמוני העם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. הללויה, 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 הללויה.
So in this time of slowing down, I mean, maybe our virtual communication and our Zoom calls and our emails are creating a frenzy, but there is a slowing down. So before we offer Shalom Aleichem, blessing the Shabbat angels, it's time to pause and bless the good. Maybe giving yourself permission to let go of whatever anxiety you're holding. Maybe even giving yourself permission to let go of the news feed for 24 hours. And think of some blessing that's come your way this week. Or 1 minute. Think of a blessing. Maybe it was the view of a bird outside your window, or a conversation that you wouldn't have otherwise had. But some beautiful messenger in the form of a blessing that came to you this week. Shalom Aleichem, page 24.
Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem leshalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon, mi-melech malachei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi-melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni leshalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon, mi-melech malachei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi-melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzidchem b'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi-melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon.
We rise if we are able, or just simply rise spiritually as we turn to page 28 for the Baruch Hu.
Baruch et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed, le'olam va'ed. page 31, the bottom. This is an hour of change. Within it, we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, or my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it, we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over?
Baruch Ata Adonai Hama'ariv Aravim.
Amen.
Avat Olam, page 32. Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Ahavta Torah u'mitzvot Chukim u'mishpatim Otanu lemadeta Al ken Adonai Eloheinu b'shofeinu u'bekumeinu nasiach b'chukecha ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו באורך ימינו, באורך ימינו, ובהם יומם בלילה, יומם בלילה, ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד. ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד.
Please be seated if you are standing.
If you are standing, you may be seated.
36.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך
ובלכתך
בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם
אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. Famously, the book of Leviticus begins with the word Vayikra, but in an unusual inconsistency,
which is repeated in each and every Torah scroll, the Aleph, the last letter in the word Vayikra, is tiny. It's small. Did that ancient sofer, that ancient calligrapher sneeze? Or maybe there's something more. Aleph is, of course, the first letter of the Hebrew word ani, me, I. Thus, the smallness of the Aleph this week can be seen as a stepping back of the self, an understanding of our smallness, of the I, the ani, in the universe. These days of reckoning with COVID-19 are days in which we have had to acknowledge the limitations of our own control, the boundaries of our knowledge, postponing, altering, and altogether canceling those plans, those desires of the I, the ani. These are indeed days of the little Aleph. But as we shrink the ego, we have the opportunity to acknowledge mystery, to acknowledge what matters. This perspective of the little Aleph is the hallmark of our people's journey to freedom. We join together with Michamocha, page 40.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא תהילתו עושה פלא, נורא תהילתו עושה פלא. מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע ים לבני משה ומרים, זה אלינו ואמרו, זה אלינו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד.
ונאמר כי פדני יעקב, גואלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל.
Hashkivenu, our prayer for protection. We're really feeling now the heroism of those on the front lines as we offer these words of Hashkivenu, thinking of all those who selflessly are putting themselves, their own safety, the safety of their families, on the line for our good, for our safety. Hashkivenu 42.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom Vehamidenu Shomreinu Shomreinu lechayim Ufros aleinu Ufros aleinu Sukat shlomecha Ufros aleinu Ufros aleinu Sukat shlomecha Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom Vehamidenu Shomreinu
Vishamru, page 44. I'm thinking of the challah that was brought across the driveway by my traditionally observant neighbor. There's a lot that separates us maybe in Great Neck, so many streams of culture, so many different expressions of Jewish life. But as a testament to our shared humanity and as a testament to the unity that is Shabbat, I have a kosher vegan challah on my on my table. Vishamru 44.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ וביום השביעי שבת וינפש ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
We rise for our standing prayer, Amidah, page 46. If you'd like to rise, please do.
אדוני שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor והנורא, עליון, גומר חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר, מושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע. משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מקלקל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו, אישי עיני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומדם מלך,
מלך ממית ומחיה
ומצמיח ישועה.
ונאמרת על החיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה
קדוש ושמך
קדוש, אתה
קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים וקדושים בכל יום יהללו הסלם.
ברוך אתה אדוני, ברוך
אתה אדוני האל הקדוש, האל
הקדוש. Continuing now with our own private prayers for just a few moments. This moment of personal reflection, we turn our attention now to those in need of healing, offering their names either aloud or silently within your heart, turning to page 253 for our Mishaberach prayer. Mishaberach Avotenu Mekor HaBaracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishaberach imotenu mekor habracha le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
In God we trust. since 1864 that's been on our currency. It's in God's hands. For who knows how long, Jews and non-Jews have spoken these words. We can maybe put these together. In God we trust. It's in God's hands. And so we might have, in God's hands we trust. But where are God's hands? Who has God's hands? Many members of our Beth-El family are on the front lines. Many of you are providing medical care to folks all over New York City. Manhattan, Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, Staten Island, Long Island, and beyond. It's Armageddon. It's hell. I've never seen anything like it. None of us are prepared for this. We're without equipment and without training, and the onslaught hasn't even begun. These are quotes from 5 physicians who were part of our Beth-El family. The truth is, we put our lives and our trust in their hands. But what about them? Our doctors and nurses and home health aides. They put their trust in where? Well, I don't know in whose hands they put their trust. I haven't yet asked them this question. Dear doctors and nurses, home health aides, in whose hands are you putting your trust? I don't know their answers. I don't know if they feel that they're putting their trust in God's hands. I am determined to ask them, though. I'm determined to speak with them, with all of you who are in the healthcare, providing care in that field. I really am determined to ask you that question, to have a conversation with you about this. Never before in my lifetime has this question been so real. In whose hands do you, courageous, selfless people providing heroic care to the rest of us, put your trust? This past Sunday, Tara and I and hundreds of others lost a beloved friend in Jerusalem, David Ehrlich. Dear David died at home in his sleep on Saturday night, Sunday morning. He probably had a heart attack, but I believe he died because of COVID-19. He was found in the morning lying on his bed, seemingly without distress. Before David went to bed, he called Tamar, his co-parent. He told her that he wasn't feeling well, but he didn't want to go to the hospital. He never woke up. His twin 12-year-old children, having been with Tamar, their mom, were spared the shock and heartbreak of witnessing their father's dead body in his own bed. In Jerusalem, it feels like everyone knows David, the founder and visionary of Shalom, a quirky, amazing cafe where all of Israel's great writers launch their newest books, read their favorite poetry, test drive their latest essay. Yehuda Amichai, David Grossman, Amos Oz, A.B. Yoshua, Nathan Englander, to name a few of the most well-known. On Saturday night, David didn't go to the hospital because of COVID-19. David cared too much about doctors and about other human beings in need, others who he thought needed care more than he did. I'm guessing that was David's logic for not heading to the ER. He definitely would have gone to the hospital if he thought he might never wake up. A heart attack struck David, but I'd say he died because of COVID-19. A beloved and adored father of 12-year-old twins, a beloved son of Jerusalem, was taken at 61 years old. Jews and Palestinians loved David. Shalom was a place for all of us. It's so unfair. It makes no sense. It's downright scary. And the question I keep hearing these days, Rabbi, how can anyone believe in a God that lets these things happen? How can God do that? How do you accept that, Rabbi? Rabbi David Aaron, very religious Orthodox Jew. He lives in the old city of Jerusalem. He was asked the question, do you believe in God? Some of you have heard this before. Hopefully you'll appreciate hearing it again. Do you believe in God, Rabbi? And his answer, no, I don't believe in God. Remember, long beard, very observant religious Jew. No, I don't believe in God. I'm saying it here. I don't believe in God. And then he added one final thing. Give me a few moments, and I promise to return to Rabbi Aaron and his final comment. Some of us think nonstop about the question of God and evil. Some of us possibly feel that it's kind of trivial. God isn't a serious subject. And there are others who simply don't dare to ask the question about God and evil. But I'm asking it tonight, and I want to tell you why. 3 straightforward reasons. First, as I said, many of you asked me about this subject and raised this question. It's on the mind of many of you. Second, I think about it constantly, me personally. To me, wrestling with this question is central to my Jewish identity and my Jewish journey. That's the second reason. And the third, God has forever been central to the Jewish people. I don't believe we would even be here today without God, without our constant arguing and longing and dreaming and even doubting. Earlier today, this morning, I had an amazing conversation with a number of Beth-El friends, all of whom have grandchildren. All of them have been isolated for a full 14 days and are asking, can we now see our grandkids? It's been 14 days. Is that enough? Maybe yes. After all, they say 14 days is the time you can leave your isolation. But our children say that they're still scared for us. And in truth, we're also a little scared for ourselves. There's so much fear, even after our isolation. So let me return to Rabbi Aaron. Rabbi, do you believe in God? No, I don't believe in God. What I do believe in, I call God. What I do believe in, I call God. So this is a time for me to ask you all, what do you believe in? What might you call God? And after this service is over, try to have a conversation with a few others. Maybe it's in the chat that's on the stream now. Think out loud together. What do you believe in? What might you call God? I want to share the teaching of Rabbi Noah Weinberg, the founder of Torah, on the subject of fear. He writes, human instinct is to run from fear. But Judaism teaches that fear, which includes the fear of God, is a positive motivator for greatness. Fear is a positive motivator for greatness. And Rabbi Weinberg wants us to reflect on 3 myths about fear. Fear is painful, fear paralyzes, and number 3, fear takes one's freedom from him or her. It's true that fear can lead to all of that. But when any of that happens, it's no longer fear. When any of that happens, it becomes panic or paranoia. Yes, fear can lead to paralysis, panic, and paranoia, but it doesn't have to, and often it simply doesn't. Here's 3 things we all know from Rabbi Weinberg. We fear that if we don't show up to work on time, we'll get fired, so we get out of bed early. Fear of failing a test makes us study harder. If you're held hostage in some funny, crazy scenario, if you're held hostage unless you memorize a page of the phone book, you'll do everything in your power to do so. Rabbi Weinberg is kind of simple and right. Fear can help us succeed and grow in our self-respect. Fear of disappointing a loved one can make us work even harder. Fear of losing a loved one makes us love even more. What we believe in we can call God. What we don't believe in panic, maybe we do believe in fear. We don't believe in paralysis, maybe we can believe in fear. So, fear doesn't equal pain or analysis. Myths 1 and 2 for Rabbi Weinberg. The last myth he mentions is the fear of God does not mean a loss of freedom. I think he's right that often we feel like fear is going to take our freedom from us. And a fear of God doesn't mean a loss of freedom. Because God doesn't want to control you or me or any of us. God only wants what's good for you and good for me and good for all of us. So fear of God, Rabbi Weinberg teaches, is actually incredibly liberating. It becomes freedom. Listen to what he says. Fear of God is the freedom from nonsense, from silly fears, from pettiness. With the fear of God, you're free from all other fears in the world. That's the proposition that Rabbi Weinberg in our tradition offers. Do you believe in God? No, I don't believe in God. What I believe in, I call God. By coincidence this week, I found and heard and listened to a voice recording of Adina when she was about 4 years old. Reshit chochma yirat Adonai, sechel tov lechol oseim. In her little squeaky, raspy 4-year-old voice, she learned to sing this. The beginning of wisdom is fear, which includes the fear of God. Kind of crazy that at this moment of so much fear, I bumped into Adina's 3-4-year-old raspy voice, reminding us about the liberating power of our fear. My good friend and novelist, Andrea Rothman, she wrote me this yesterday. I'm thinking in terms of how these experiences, what we're living through, strips you of ego and falsity and perhaps allows you to find your true self, your true purpose in life. I know this sounds dramatic, but I was thinking along these lines, close quote. Well, dear Andrea, not dramatic, actually kind of prophetic. Words maybe of a seasoned mystic. I received a text a week and a half or so ago from a text that contained a rabbi's letter to a congregant who had asked him a question. This rabbi's in Australia. The question was, what's going on with this virus? And the rabbi's answer, part of it, we've lost our illusion of certainty. We never had it to begin with. This could be majorly unsettling or amazingly liberating. Keep calm. Panic and fear are also contagious. Take every precaution as advised by health authorities. Wash your hands well, he says. And every time you do, remember in whose hands you are in. He continues. Close your eyes and feel the uncertainty. Make peace with it. Let yourself be taken by it. Embrace your cluelessness. Because in all the confusion, there's one thing you know for sure. You're in God's hands. Close quote. In whose hands do we trust? All of us are immeasurably blessed by our home health aides, nurses, and doctors. We place ourselves in your hands. We should have no doubt, not be confused one iota, that the hands that we place ourselves in, those are the hands of God. God's hands are in every single hospital in the world. God's hands and heart, God's hope and healing power is in every mask, hand sanitizer, and ventilator. PPE, personal protection equipment, PPEs, are the result, I think, of fear. Without fear, we would never have PPEs or medical professionals. Our beloved friend David, he wasn't a religious Jew. His passion for Jews and Judaism and Gentiles, for Israel, Italy, and India, were beyond measure. He probably wasn't all that drawn to the idea of fear or fear of God. He would likely want to debate with me right now this idea of the fear of God. But on one occasion, David and I talked about God in a very significant way. For David was the one who told me about Rabbi Aaron's statement, "I don't believe in God. What I believe in, I call God." And he said to me, David, and I remember it well, "I believe that there's something greater than me, than all of us. I believe that we Jews are called to teach that to the world. Through music and literature and food, we're meant to be a light unto the nations." He was obviously making reference to his cafe, which is famous for music, literature, and food. Every year, David was a bit scared. Could Tumult Shalom thrive another year? When the cafe was struggling during the Intifada, he said, "This place has an importance far beyond my making a living." David often devoted his life to the humble, often messy work of God. With his hands, he helped his waitstaff serve the food. With his hands, he helped his chefs prepare the food. With his hands, he helped clear tables and clean the kitchen. In God we trust. It's all in God's hands. In whose hands do we trust? David, for so many years, yours have been the hands of God. Finally, to all of our doctors and nurses and home health aides, you who carry your fears with such dignity, humility, and bravery, you who risk your health and the well-being of your families, yours are the hands of God. Your hands and hearts are our heroes. Our well-being, our good fortunes grow out of your fear and out of your faith. Whether it's God's hands you feel or the hands of some other redeeming force, whatever your faith may be, may every one of you carry in your heart and in your pocket the prayer, "In God we trust." We're all in God's hands. Shabbat Shalom. We'll rise on page 282 for Aleinu.
Aleinu לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שהוא נוטה שמיים ביוסר הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינת עוזו בגובה מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אחד.
אנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
Thinking now of those we have lost. I'll mention the names on my list and, of course, add any to your own list, aloud or silently, and rise if you wish as you do so. This week marks the passing of David Ehrlich and Leila Meriti. And in the last 30 days, Henry Mueller and Alan Bruce Walder. And the Yortzites this week for Irving Aronson, John J. Baruch, David Baer, Sarah Cohen, Howard Cooper, Aline Helfer, Harold Hyman, Dorothy Fleischman, Selma Friedman, Cora Grunbaum, Cynthia Kaplan, Sanford Jaffe, Seymour H. Koppelman, Seymour Coteen, Jerome Motion, Elias Rosenzweig, Leo Scher, Rose Stone, and all those we name in our hearts. The Mourner's Kaddish is on page 294. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Bi'alma divra chirutei, bi'amlich malchutei. B'chayechon uvyomechon, ufchaye dechol beit Yisrael. Ba'agala uvizman karib yimru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל לשמת קודשה בריחו לאלה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דאמירן בעלמה ויאמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ויאמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru Amen. May the one who creates harmony, peace, and healing, wholeness to all, bring that to Israel, v'al kol yoshvei tevel, to all humanity. We say one last time.
Amen.
A few announcements. Thank you, Margalofs, for the challah, for dropping it off. A reminder, I'll give some upcoming events. There's so many. Check your emails. If you're not getting the emails, let our office know. We'll redirect your emails to the right places. But that's where all of these links are for our virtual experiences. Torah study via Zoom tomorrow morning with Rabbi Molbaum, 9:15. Tat Shabbat at 10 a.m., also via Zoom. Havdalah with the Feldmans, yours truly, 7:30, just 7:30 to 7:45 or so. Join us at our dining room table via Zoom. Passover, yoga. Even if we can't leave the house, we can still stretch. Come get out the chametz. Fire yourself up, 10:30 on Sunday morning. The link to sign up for that is in your email. Monday, there's 7:15 minyan. Tuesday, there'll be a Tat Sing in the morning at 10 a.m., 11:30 lunch and learn. Wednesday, you can hang out with clergy and have a cup of coffee or something stronger.
I think it's me that on Wednesday. Vlad was just...
At 11:30. So there's many things going on. So many things going on. Check your email. A reminder that our caterer, W Kosher Catering, is offering Passover meals that can be picked up. And we will be offering a second night Zoom Seder, and there's lots of resources we'll be sending you so you can have your own Passover experiences, maybe Zooming with dear family on the first night, or just in your own home. Remembering that's how the first Seder happened. We were hunkered down inside our own homes waiting for the plague to pass.
Very good point.
So, we're keeping it real. This Shabbat. There are so many ways to make our hands be hands of giving and healing. Again, watch your emails if you're looking for ways to feel empowered and help. And we are now going to offer Kiddush, which is on page 5. And Mayor will bring up the Kiddush cup because the mic is better up here. So if you've got a Kiddush cup at home, you can raise it, or maybe you can just imagine a virtual Kiddush cup in your hand as we raise ours. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho b'yahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh bereshit. כי הוא יום תחילה למקרא קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה ורצון. הנחלתנו ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת לחיים. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, המוציא לכם מן הארץ. Amen. Eat your bread while you can. Pesach's almost here. And we are going to close with bread in our mouth, with a Pesach song. B'tzeit Yisrael mi Mitzrayim. When Israel went forth from Egypt, the house of Jacob from a people who spoke differently, Judah became God's Holy One, Israel, God's dominion. We are on page 270 if you happen to have a Siddur, or maybe you know it, B'tzeit Yisrael. B'tzeit Yisrael mi Mitzrayim, Beit Yaakov me'am Loel. B'tzeit Yisrael mi Mitzrayim, Beit Yaakov me'am Loel. הייתה יהודה לקודשו, ישראל ממשלותיו. הים רב הינוס, הירדן ייסוב לאחור. בצאת ישראל ממצרים, בית יעקב מעם לואל.
Shabbat Shalom to
Shabbat
all.
Shalom. Thank you, Shai.
Shai,